skydiving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Up and down, up and down. I felt okay when I started this. Now I don't feel as good. Oh, I've got a lot of old man problems right now. I've got a lot of old man problems. Oh, my wrist is acting up again because of the cold. I don't have insurance. My stomach hurts. It's bad. Okay. I just got your message back. Yeah. There's a lot of people I know. Feel free to, if it doesn't sell like by the end of the day, I'll just share it on mine because a lot of my friends are Bronco fans. So, and that'll be a good game too. Whenever we play Cleveland, it's always a good game. It's kind of like, tomorrow we play the Chiefs. And I don't think we're going to win it here, but I'm going to do a little Bronco supporting at least. Here we go. That's it. That's too much. Yeah, my stomach doesn't like that. No. But it's a divisional game and you never know what's going to happen. Even though I do know what's going to happen. Yeah. They're going to kick the crap out of us. The Broncos just aren't there yet. We're not there yet. So, because it's okay, I'll have to remember that. Okay, because it's a Monday game. They're letting us back on national television after last year. Wow. That's actually kind of surprising. It's actually kind of surprising. Yeah, as long as the Raiders lose, then, it's a halfway decent day. But, football is football. I only talk about stuff because it's fun to bicker back and forth, but I don't take it seriously. I don't. It is entertainment. I don't want to go into the playoffs. No, I don't want to go to the playoffs. We're not a playoff team. I don't want to go to playoffs, get my ass kicked. No. Let the Chargers do that. Let the Chargers have that one. Welcome to Daily Trudge. We got to the 3 minutes. Ow. If you're here, please say hello. I had to do this because, there's a meeting later. There's no way I'm going to be able to run it. There's no way. And Amber, I'll text you and let you know why. You know what? Well, yeah, and it's some more cash, man. It's some more cash. The problem is when I have my stomach hurts like this, nothing works except one thing. Only one thing works when my stomach's like this, and it's THC. Why not just be fucking on it? I utilize THC every now and again for things. It's the only thing that takes it away. Well, so I can either sit with my stomach ache all day, host and chair the meeting and be miserable, but I'm not going to do that and then go chair a fucking meeting. So I'm in a little bit of a conundrum on that. And yeah, yeah, so we'll see. Give us 2-3 years and then we'll be a contender, and then our division will be like the shit, right? It'll be our division that you have to. So anyway, let's talk about except for addiction. So why am I excluding that? Because admitting is part of the process for addiction. Is it mental health? Kind of, but let's kind of get to the nitty gritty of it. Okay. Let's talk ADHD. No, you don't have it. You might think you have it. Unless you've been diagnosed, you don't have it. Even my last therapist was like, "Do you think you have ADHD?" And I told her, "No, I don't. Do you see the culmination of other things that I have? It makes it look like ADHD, but I'm not always like this." You know, now here's part of the problem I'm seeing with it is you'll go online and people are saying, these are the blah, blah, blah for ADHD. These are signs of ADHD. Well, you know what? All of us kind of go through this stuff. Nobody puts their fucking clothes away. A lot of us stim. Do you talk to yourself? Oh, that's ADHD. Be careful. Why am I saying that? Because what we say to ourselves matters. Yeah. What we say to ourselves matters. And if you continue to tell your brain that you have ADHD, do you know what you will end up with? ADHD. You will become that person. And it'll be even worse than ADHD because it's not you. It's not you. But the brain is so powerful, it will change you if you tell it. That's its job. So we got to be very careful. We got to be very careful on self-diagnosis. Okay. Now, when we get into the program, hold on. Okay. It just comes in waves. Just wait. Okay. So, a lot of mental illnesses look like alcoholism. ADHD being one, anxiety. PTSD is not really included in that. We all have some sort of trauma. There's some trauma there. We don't live these kinds of lives and that there's no trauma. I mean, when we seek out sordid places for companionship and approval, yeah, something's going to happen there. Living with an alcoholic or an addict's bound to make anybody neurotic. Here's the thing, because I keep hearing people saying, I went to my doctor and they diagnosed me with something, and they're 2-3 months of sobriety. And clearly the doctor has not read the guidelines. And the guideline is if somebody has an addiction, and I'm going to include alcoholism in that, you can't be diagnosed with anything until you are 6 months sober. That's the standing rule. So if you have less than 6 months and you call these places, like I was calling these places because my therapist had brought it up. Do you think you have ADHD? I'm like, well, I don't think that I do, but I'm willing to take a look at it. I'm willing to take a look at it. I said, can you give me the test or whatever? Can you? I forget what it's called. It's right on the tip of my tongue too. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I forget, but it's how they diagnose you. It starts with an A, I think. I can't think of it. So I was calling these places and I'm like, yeah, I need to get a whatever to see if I have ADHD. Oh, well, we can write you meds right now if you want. Click. I don't want more meds. I wanted the diagnosis. I needed the diagnosis for something else. I didn't ask for. See, that's the problem. They just want to have the drugs. I am now almost 2 weeks completely off my meds, off my head meds. Okay. There are some people in my family that think that I need to be on depressants or antidepressants, and I don't agree. I don't agree. You don't live my life. You don't know what it's like for me. And if you don't sit down, what you see when you call me because something's wrong, then something's always wrong. But call me when things are right too, and we'll see what happens. Do I go through depression? Yes, I do. Do those meds help anymore? No, they don't. No, 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 no. It took me over a year to get off of them, and I will not go on to. Now they're saying, well, Wellbutrin, so it'll help me quit smoking. I'm like, I think I'd rather suffer through the quitting of smoking than detoxing from another fucking drug in my life. No, no, I won't do it. And that's a personal thing. So what did I do? So why did I go on my depression meds? Because I needed them. So what happened is I've been sober years by this point. And so the diagnosis was true. And I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and alcoholism for 30 years. Okay. The CPTSD was new, and I denied that. I denied it. It's just pride in reverse, is all that was. And sorry, I kind of forgot where I was. Okay. Um, so what I did is I went on the medication for depression. What that did is it helped regulate me so I could start to get down to causes and conditions. Then I went to therapy. And this is what I had to do. I had to be 100% honest about everything that was going on, or this person couldn't help me. Now you kind of see it isn't just a physical thing, it's a mental, emotional, and for us, a spiritual thing. Because I found that my spiritual malady actually got rid of a lot of my stuff, like my anxiety. Okay. Let's talk about, so I went through that. Well, now I know the causes and conditions. I know my triggers of my depression. I understand when I'm depressed. So instead of trying to avoid that now, I let it in. I don't let it go. I let it stay. Why? Because it's just part of what's going on, and it's okay. It is okay still. And the more often I do that, the less depressed I am. Because I don't try and run from my depression. I don't ignore it. No. No. Part of my depression is, hey, Dion, maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's something going on that you need to look at. Someday, oh shit, I was supposed to be talking with a sponsee at 1:15. Fuck. See, I knew I was off. Give me a second. I don't even know that. Give me 1 second. All right. Did that take care? Okay. I had to work through that real quick because I said I fucked up and I was going to beat up on myself. I have to stop that. Okay. I have to remember I'm human and I'm not used to meeting with my sponsees on Saturdays either. So, but I asked them if we could meet tomorrow. So, I'm doing everything to get through this one. It's just, if I don't feel like I've done what I need to do today, I will push and push. And I know that's not the best idea. I know that. So after this, I'm done for today. Now let's kind of get to the PTSD because there's a lot of people, and I'm not diagnosing them, but when I see somebody act like I do, it's hard not to notice. It's really hard not to notice. When, like earlier, I was hearing somebody, they were in a meeting and they found out that their in-law was one of their triggers. Well, they went and hid. I get this. Shannon's old stepdad was here last weekend, and I avoided that because I don't want to see him. Well, what is that? Well, it's PTSD. You know, give me a second. Okay, cool. Um, the PTSD was different. Um, there were some meds and stuff for it, but I was not willing to take them. Shrooms. Here's the thing with shrooms. Um, see, my mind couldn't wrap around it because I really like shrooms, right? And they're like, "Well, you microdose." I'm like, "Well, like even microdosing, once a week or whatever." They're like, "No, Dion, every 6 months." See, I'm already off. Then it's just off the table for me. It's off the table. Ketamine. I don't see why I want to replace one. And I'm not big into Western medicine. I'm finding that with all the stuff that they've given me, all it did was like the atorvastatin, and then they find out that statin isn't even good for you. Well, what the fuck? I was on that stuff for 10 years, lethargic for 10 years, when all I needed to do was start taking fish oil. But the doctors wanted to continue writing my 120 fucking milligrams of duloxetine. All right. When I went and got my, and it was the duloxetine that fucked up my, what is that? It's right there, but it's gone. See, I can't even remember the name of body parts at the moment. Uh, so, you know, the self-diagnosis, um, we're not doctors, and it may be something else. We may be right, so make sure that you advocate for yourself. Okay, it's okay to advocate. If you have a doctor and they ain't listening, then fire his ass. Go get another doctor. Find somebody that'll listen to you. Go through 20 of them if you need to. But once you find that right one, if you're not completely honest, okay, and this includes honesty. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anymore. I've tried to figure this out, Doc. I don't know. Okay. That might be but if you're not honest, then these people cannot help you. PTSD. And this ran the gamut for me. Okay. The first thing was the anxiety attacks. Ah! Yeah. My first anxiety attack, I was in King Supers. How I don't remember what I went to go look. I went to go get something because I was shopping with Shannon. I don't remember what it was. And out of nowhere, I had no fucking clue where I was, what I was doing. I knew who I was. I knew I needed to find my wife. And I had to get the fuck out of there now. And I left and I didn't leave the house for a while. You'll see pictures of me with long hair. Okay. And these anxiety attacks would come and come and come. Somebody would say something to me, and I'd wake up in the morning after hours and hours of nightmares, sleeping for 12, 14 hours. And then people are like, why do you sleep so much? And why don't you work? And why don't you do this? And why don't you, and this and this and that? And I couldn't take it. And I'm like, everybody needs to fuck off and just leave me the fuck alone. And I hid. Because you wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. You wouldn't stop giving me unsolicited advice. You kept telling me what I need to do, how I needed to be, what I needed to be. See? And everybody was the fucking enemy. I would tell my wife, I want to tell my wife how much I loved her, and it would come out, fuck off, get away from me. I couldn't help myself. It was horrid. It's like living outside of your body. Yeah. And then couple that with the insanity of alcoholism because I'm not going to meetings. Yeah. Rona hadn't happened yet. That's why I started going live. And it took me years of going to therapy, EMDR. I did a lot of EMDR, but I had to work through every single situation in my life. I had to dig so far into who I was that I found out who I was. And I know Dion very, very well today. Okay. And he's kind of fucked up. And it's okay. It's okay. It is okay to be sad and have a good day anyway. It is. So I don't run from these things. And I feel like these medications, they have to be used properly, first of all. Okay. And we take them according to how they told us to take them. Even coming down, I had a really nice lady over at Overcomers Counseling. Okay. She wasn't getting paid to help me, but she understood my situation. My Medicaid, bam, got cut off. And she helped me through email with my duloxetine and getting off of it. Now I'm off. I need to write her and let her know I'm all the way off. And thank you very much for her help. She didn't have to do that for me. She didn't have to do that. But she saw what I had done, and she wasn't going to let me falter at the end there. That's why I tell people to go to Overcomers Counseling, man. Great therapist. If you haven't already found a great one. Okay. I had to... The hardest part, because people are like, you have to take responsibility for your actions. Yeah. Then I heard, well, you got to be responsible for your emotions. And that just pisses me off. I'll just let you know, it pisses me off. I'm not saying it isn't true, but it pissed me off. But harder than anything was admitting that I was allowing other people to trigger me. That was the hardest part for me, that I was allowing this. It wasn't them, that I was doing it. Well, that hurt more because I've had to do nothing my whole life but become better. I've always had to work on something. I've had to relearn how to talk, how to walk. Literally. I mean that in a very literal sense. A lot of, like, my family don't like being around me. I'm crazy. I'm the black sheep. They still call me names. I'm going to tell you right now, that some of my family is mad at me because of the presidential election. I'm like, you don't even know who I voted for. You don't talk to me. You don't know. These are just tags, right? And no, I won't accept that anymore. Now, do you see what I did? I laughed because it's ridiculous. It's silly, right? Now, why do I not need to go back and forth with that? Because I figured out my triggers. And I don't do it as much anymore because I don't react. Okay. Or if you cross my boundary, then you get the reaction, and then you really don't want to be around me anymore because you just found out that if you cross my boundary, I will chew your ass in front of everyone. Yeah. And you won't do it again. And I'll do it so I don't have to make an amends. Hopefully. Yeah. But I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't figure out my boundaries until I knew who I was. And doing it myself, just like my alcoholism, it's a no-winner. If nobody will win. Okay. Now, part of our recovery involves professionals. Some of us got DUIs. We have lawyers, doctors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. Psychologists and psychiatrists are two different PhDs. Actually, one's a master, the other's a PhD. A psychologist is a doctor. A psychiatrist or a psychologist cannot hand out drugs. A psychiatrist can, I think. But I know one is a master's and one's a PhD, which is more than, right? Because they're going more. They know more. So, But the major thing, and I'm seeing this a lot, that people are getting diagnosed before that 6 months. And that can be very, very dangerous because it could take you away from working on your spiritual malady. You can live with whatever's going on, unless it's physical and dire, for the next 6 months. Yes, you can. I did it. I did it. And now I don't have any prescriptions. I don't. They're all gone. Now I'm not on any head meds. Right? And I don't have nightmares anymore. I think I had a drinking dream last night. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. I remember something about whiskey. Something about whiskey. So they was asking for whiskey. I don't think I got it. I don't think I got it. I don't know. Now I'm having normal dreams. I don't remember them half the time now. That's nice. I used to wake up sweating, swinging. Yeah. And in the beginning, you had to be very careful how you woke me up. Because if I was in the middle of a nightmare and something was going on, there were times I got out of bed, standing there, like, because I'm still in my dream. It's fucked up. So I'm going to beg you, don't put off the shit that happened to you. Don't put off the trauma. Do that 4th and 5th step. Face your snakes. Quit letting it go and let it stay. Letting go is the form of either delayed gratification or none of my fucking business. That is letting go. Letting it stay means, yes, I'm depressed today and it's all right. This too shall pass. It will. Right? And so, you have an either or situation there. I would not recommend duloxetine though, which is also Cymbalta. Okay. It tore my body up. It gave me very bad gas, and it's still part of what's going on now. Okay. Gallbladder. That's what they took out. That was for my duloxetine because I was so backed up because of the med they were giving me. Okay. Coming off of that, the brain zaps, the shaking, it hurts from top to bottom. And it's a different hurt than the alcohol withdrawal. Alcohol withdrawal was still worse. But I went through that a lot and I was really bad off too. So, all right. Now, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm surprised I made it 28 minutes. So, I'll go to my group and see if somebody can host the meeting tonight because I can't. I'm not going to make it. So, okay, now I do feel like I've at least gotten to the point where maybe I help somebody today. That's my one goal. I kind of feel like I did that today. So, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. I love you. I really do. Even on the days when my stomach hurts and I want to backhand everybody. Not everybody. There was somebody in the meeting I wanted to backhand. So I left so that I didn't do that. Because, yeah. Do you? Okay. Awesome, Amber. I appreciate it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email you my, okay. Okay. You just let me know before I put it in group, and I'm not in any rush, so just let me know whenever. But if you can, I'm going to send you the login information, and then if you want to log in beforehand and do the 4-digit code so it remembers your IP, that's great. Or if you just want to wait for the meeting and then I send you the code, that's fine too. I can do that. I can do that while throwing up. Because I'm going to go make myself throw up because I can't. Yeah, you guys really need to know that, didn't you? All right. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget that I'm just Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Remember the meeting's at 6 today, not 5. I get it mixed up. I better double check that. I love you. Peace out and have a